First, I want to congratulate my good friend Verlaine for the book. And I'm one of the first one who has the book. So.
That is true. I made him pay it. I said you have to pay it, please.
Yeah.
I haven't sold one yet.
So I have two questions. They're easy though. So, what's the purpose of your book Unbound? That's the first question. And the second one, what motivated you to write this book?
What made me write the book?
Yeah.
So the purpose, I guess, the purpose was I needed to heal, as I said, I needed to heal some broken pieces, and writing has always been my way to externalize, because we accumulate so much in our daily lives, and some people find it to sing. I sing. My neighbors have had enough lately. They've been knocking on my walls, I'm like, Cheryl, because of the concerts, it's very difficult. But you find a way, you sing, you dance. Dancing is very good to externalize a lot of the things that we accumulate. We forget because we live in a society where everything is material, and we forget that we are nature, that our body needs to connect with the sun in the morning when we wake up, the water that flows. We are 72% of water. Our bodies is 72% of water. So how do you make sure that you stay balanced within yourself, with the external, and so, as I said, writing has been for me my way to externalize. Somehow words play in my head, I wake up and I'm like, okay, that's something I'd like to, so that's it. And then the purpose, of course, healing, and I'm so grateful that it resonates with so many people, that so many people find a way to heal through the words.
Yes, hi.
What's your name?
Lulu. My name is Lulu.
Hi, Lulu.
And I'm just so in this moment I'm experiencing you as such a wise and beautiful soul. So I just want to recognize that. And thinking about, I just got the book and I can't wait to dive in, but I often, as I read others' words, and by your words it's coming from a place of healing for you. When you go back and look at your words in Unbound, are there any moments in Unbound that send you on another journey? Like more light bulbs come on. And are there moments in Unbound that you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have shared so much?
Yep. That's the short answer, yes. I received the new edition copies last week. The tree sent it to me on my home. I received it, and I went to sit and I reread the book, and I said, I did the African thing, African, I said, that's the name of the And so I think once you lay out the words, they don't belong to you anymore. I don't know, it's a very weird process. Once you lay it out, it's just out there. And when I read Unbound again, I literally did not recognize me. Because particularly the broken part, the beginning, when you read it, the fall, so many pieces were in need of healing, in need of love, in need of community, in need of collective, in need of compassion. And I received that afterwards. So I was able to put together all those pieces. And so when I read the broken part of me, it's hard, particularly when I articulate around the Black experience. I want to talk about that because 2020 we had Black Lives Matter, many our brothers and sisters were killed by police brutality, and it impacts us. You wake up to the news and you see a baby boy who's 20 years old, who could be your baby brother, who could be your son, who gets killed, someone who looks like you, and so you walk with a target on your back, subconsciously, not consciously. You walk subconsciously, and your life becomes a revolution. Your life takes creation outside of the lines that you're supposed to be in. And so when I read back on these pieces, I realized that as a collective, we've also moved forward. When I see, for instance, the way that Black Lives Matter movement has, worked so hard at local level, and how people are organizing, and how we have what we call the second waves of civil rights movement. And when I see my own personal reflections on that on the book, it's a very moving experience, but still very detached. Now that it's not mine anymore. That the pain of it doesn't live in my bones, you know, it lives on the pages. It's like a transfer. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
My name is Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Hi. So congratulations once again, Verlaine. And I'm very curious as to your process because most of the times you see things going from print to the digital world, but you did the reverse, which I think is really unique, bringing things which are, supposed to be consumed digitally into print. What was that process like for you, and how do you see that relationship working?
Yeah, thank you so much, Tony. Yeah, again, for people who follow me on Twitter, and sometimes maybe I shouldn't say that, my bosses used to come and say, Verlaine, I see your Twitter, you have to delete. You have to delete. Why are you saying things like that? Your mental health, I keep this to yourself. But what I realized on the other side, is that people who were dealing with the same issues resonated, and it gave them a sense of companionship, of saying, again, for people who know me, I've done a lot of public work, so people expect you to be flawless, to be strong all the time, to be resilient, to not show any signs of weakness. And I did it for some times, and then I realized that I was suffering. I had so much pain inside that I needed to let out, and so somehow Twitter became my platform. I was like, okay, let's put that out there, and then it resonated with other people, and they're like, sisters, younger women who look up to me, and even older, and they're like, yeah, I'm happy you shared that because I needed to hear that. That's something I was feeling very strongly about, and I'm happy to see that someone like you is going through such a process. So for me, it was liberating, and I almost want to say selfish in a way, because the human experience by itself, in essence, is selfish. When I say selfish, in the sense that you center yourself. We talk a lot about the boundaries, about making sure that your inner self is aligned with the external. So we have to protect that core, and so so I went from sharing, as I said, online, and then one day I was like, I started writing from my own journal. I've had journals for years, and I figured, they're timed on Twitter, actually. A lot of my writings are timed on Twitter. There's a narrative, there's a thread. Let me try to pull and to see where that's going to lead me. And so I went to FedEx, shout out to the FedEx stores down the street, because I printed so many pages from them, and I put them on my living room everywhere, and tried to look, and then there was magic storyline here, then
So what we're going to do now, I thank you. Is
Can
a
I
little
ask you one,
secret,
can I ask one
Verlaine.
last question?
Oh, sure, sorry.
All right, so you had a Twitter platform, and so you started becoming vulnerable. How many followers did you have before you started disclosing and revealing?
I had about 3,000.
And now you're up to 9,000.
Yes. I think, as I said, it allows, once people realize that, you're just human, you're just like me, it's easier to connect. And I think that's what we need so much now, particularly after going through the pandemic. You walk through the streets and you can't see people's faces, and you cannot associate, because the first interaction you have with someone is their face, their expressions, we can see through the eyes, when someone smiles at you, we say the eyes are the reflections of the soul. So if someone is giving you good, you receive it, but we are adding it, and I'm not putting myself on that, sorry, have you seen the SNL sketch? Sorry, let's go back. But please we need to wear masks. I'm not saying we need to wear masks, we need to wear masks, but what I'm saying is, we've added so many layers of covering ourselves, both mentally and now physically we have to, because we need to protect ourselves and people we love. But just being able to say, to put myself literally naked. I don't want to say naked, I kept some pieces, I'm sorry. But, just being able to say that's me, and then Medina tonight, she's my Twitter sister. It's the first time I meet her tonight, but we've been following each other for some time. And when I see her, I love her because I know her. I know whose Medina's spirit is. It's just now I'm able to put a body to her digital persona.
And if you speak it, you heal it. And sometimes when you take that stuff out of the darkness and take it to the light, it dissipates.
Oh yes.
So that's why your conversation about looking back and not even recognizing yourself.
Definitely.
Wonderful.
All we have to do is turn on the lights. and then darkness disappears.
Right.
That's right.
So one of the things that we've done with Verlaine is encourage her to not only write more, but to write a memoir. So there'll be some things coming up in the future. We don't know when. But anyone who has a book, would like your book signed,
Yes.
you can come up and she'll do that. And welcome again. We're